when it comes to a start, it will be a rolling start, and the game will instruct you on that. Anyway, we asked the GT3 leader and second place leader to leave a 10-second gap to last place in LMP2, just to leave a little bit of gap for race control to call the starts, but also for any incidents into turn 1 are usually cleared. If there is an incident in LMP2, it's usually cleared by the time GT3s get there. As we come out with the chicane here, the race control, myself, will call LMP2 prepare for green, leader has control. This essentially, from that point onwards, the pole sitter can go whenever they want. Okay, so where the problem was held last round in the start, you are to ignore the in-game green flag unless you're in LMP2, because technically the green flag will drop when the leader goes. Okay, so yeah, in GT3 you ignore the green flag. Same will happen again. LMP2, GT3 prepare for green, leader has control. From that point onwards, GT3 leader has control, and they can go when they like. Incident form is already in the incident form channel, and also is in and pinned in race control. So that is where the incident form can be filled out. We do not accept replay files purely because we cannot leave the lobby to watch the replay file. Therefore, we can't view the replay file. So it has to be a video submitted, whether that's, you know, medal, or literally just record it on your phone, upload it to YouTube, and then just send it in. Is literally, but yeah, that's how it's done. Makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes if we are able to, we will go back and watch it in the lobby. However, the reason why we ask for videos is, you know, we can disconnect, and I'm not constantly saving the replay, so yeah, if I disconnect, then I can no longer go backwards in the race. I can only see live and from up back to the point that I've just rejoined. So that's why we ask for video submissions. These will be watched by us. Check the incident form will remain open for 24 hours after the checkered flag. So if you have any more incidents towards the end of the race, then that can be done. The last half an hour to an hour, there won't be any, particularly depending on how busy the report form is today, there probably won't be any penalties given out. They will become post-race penalties, purely so that we don't particularly throw someone's race completely by giving them a penalty at the end, like in the last 5 minutes. So any penalties submitted after an hour to the last half an hour will probably not be used, but not guaranteed. They might be given. Just a little guide on whether we will or not. If you receive an in-game black flag at any point for incident points or cutting the track and not serving the slowdown, it is on you to serve the black flag. We will not remove an in-game given black flag. Only penalties that can be removed is ones that are appealed, and those that are being appealed are the ones that have been given by race control. So yeah, any iRacing ones will not be removed. Incident points, we have a pit lane start and quali ban for the 245 SRB car for hitting the penalty point limit for that penalty. So they will be in the pit lane. So yeah, they've hit their points, they've hit 18, so they have their thing. Blue flags, oh sorry, skip on. Race classification, you must complete 70% of your leader's laps to classify as a finisher. Same as WBC rules and I think IMSA as well. So yeah, that's the thing. You also have to have 2 drivers drive, but again, fair share's turned on, so if you don't have 2 drivers drive, you will get disqualified anyway. Blue flags, you can't block the faster car. If you're in the same class, so GT3 letting through another GT3 who's a lap ahead, the rules doesn't state that you must jump out of the way. It's just you can't defend, you can't block. So if they go for a move, you just sort of have to let them have it. And then if you're overtaking a blue flagged car, if you think you're quicker and can do so, you are allowed to. However, if you cause an incident in doing so, it's looked at rather harshly. And then also, if you end up having to defend from them, it's it's a blue flag offence for not letting the blue flag past. If you're a GT3 and you have an LMP2 coming up behind you, or a LMP2 flying up behind a GT3, 99% of the time it is on the LMP2, the faster class, to get past, as they are the car, in theory, with more control. They are the one doing the overtaking, so they are the ones in control. However, GT3s can cause incidents under blue flags, so it's always all about being aware of your surroundings, being predictable more than anything. Sometimes jumping out of the way of an LMP2, pulling out of the way of an LMP2 just results in incidents because they're expecting you to go on your racing line, so they're probably working around your racing line. Okay, so please be predictable and aware of your surroundings. X limit for today is 40x for the first drive routes and every 15 incident points. This is incredibly lenient, so yeah, it should be quite easy for you to not get a drive through. Lobby chat is turned on but shouldn't be used. You can use the text chat if you like. If you need to use the text chat, yeah, you can go for it. Please do not spam or start arguing in the chat. That can be reported and you can receive penalties, if not a league ban, for abusing people in chats. We're all here for a bit of fun, so any of that is just not what we want to see. Voice chat is not allowed at all. You will be warned and then penalised if you ignore that, if you're using the push to talk, purely because that's what we use to call the safety cars, etc. So blocking of that will block race control using it. Safety car procedure. So the safety car procedure is the same as it has been before. I don't know why that's still highlighted in yellow as if it's a new rule. That's really helpful, well done me. Same as before as it has been for the last 2 rounds now. We didn't actually use one at Spa, and typically the one time that I would have called a safety car at Spa last week was the full course yellow right at the end of the race, but we made the decision to go full course yellow so that the race would finish under green flag and not under safety car. But yeah, we're still yet to use one on this new procedure. The procedure is as follows. The safety car will pick you up, pick the leader up at the start. It will then be pacing until everyone has caught up. Then the pit lane opens for 1 lap. Everybody pits on the same lap, regardless of if you're an LMP2 or a GT3. If you would like to pit, that's the 1 lap to do so. The pits will then be closed for the following lap, and we will then start our wave around phase, where any cars in between the safety car and their leader will be waved around and able to catch back up to the back. Once they've re-caught back up, we then do the separation phase, which is now done through end of lines. So last place all the way to first place, 1 by 1, will be given an end of line, which will shuffle everybody to the back. When you're given an end of line, all cars will be on the right, all cars stay on the right. When you're given, this will be said by the way during the safety car. When you're given an end of line, you pull to the left, slow down safely, don't just brake check someone, safely slow down to on the left side of the track, let the field pass to the point where iRacing is telling you to slot in. Once you've been given an end of line, the smart thing to do is to leave a little gap to the car ahead that hasn't been given in the queue, that hasn't been given an end of line, so that the new end of line car can slot in front of you. Otherwise it gets a little bit justly. Once all the end of lines are sorted and everyone's slotted in, we'll go green at the end of that next lap at the start line. The very common one, and what will mostly be used a lot more today, hopefully not at all though, is full course yellow procedure, same as it has been all season. Message will come up saying full course yellow in 10 seconds. It will also be voiced down by myself, down the push to talk. There is then a literal 10-second countdown. We then go silent for the first 5 seconds, then count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, full course yellow, full course yellow. You need to be stopped by the end of the countdown. It's the end of the countdown, it's not once I've said it you are slowing down. You have to be on your pit limiter in first gear at the end of the countdown. Otherwise it's considered as speeding. Vice versa, at the end of the full course yellow, once we're ready to go, we will call full course yellow ending in 10 seconds, skip 5 seconds, and then start counting down from 5, which is then ended with green, green, green. You can only return to green flag racing at the green when at the first message it says green or first pool of green, not during the countdown. Okay, anyone who comes off the pit limiter too early is still considered as speeding, as we are still under full course conditions until that green. Weather for today is dry. If anyone actually looked at the implemented forecast for the round, you would notice it is literally the same thing for the whole day here at the Nurburgring. So nice and interesting. So any questions, please chuck them in here. I see Jake's requested to speak. Yeah, and as Dylan said, if anyone wants to do any interviews during the race, please hop into interview waiting room and he'll drag you in. Hello, Jake.
So in regards to safety car hitting, what is there any limitations on what you can fuel up to, tyre changes, what can you do?
Yes, fair point. So if you enter a closed pit lane, you can only do an emergency stop, which is 10 litres, no tyres, and no tear-offs, no whatever. Or if you have like a meatball flag, for example, you can enter the pits under a closed pits. Thanks, Lewis. Yeah, you can enter under closed pits to serve damage. That is fine, purely because if you've got damage, you're most likely the reason why it's been called. So that's fine. But yeah, if the safety car's called and you're about to run out of fuel, yeah, you can do 10 litres. Come back out of the pits, catch a queue, and then come back in again to do the full tank of tyres. But as far as when the pit's open, there's no limitation.
Alright, thank you. Also, our cars are on track, so if you're on track.
Are they? That's helpful. Oh well. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Unsafe pit entries enforced by iRacing. I don't know. It might be enforced by them themselves, but yeah, I would. If someone does an unsafe pit exit, like to the actual pit exit, then yeah, report it. But if there's any contact made in pit lane, then yeah, report it, because I don't know if iRacing actually does have a look. But yeah, I will do a radio check in a minute. I will announce it in the text chat before I do it, and once it's finished.